All right, we are live once again. Let me get the Amazon one going here in a second, and we will carry forth. This will be a fun one. This is like a B-roll collection mission. So we've got a couple of things to try out here, and we'll be quick, more or less. So it looks like we are live and broadcasting across Amazon and on YouTube. So what we're looking at today, in full disclosure, this came in free of charge from 8bitdo. And I was just talking on my video last night, the Amazon haul that we did, that they were coming out with Hall effect versions of all of their game controllers, and this is the new Pro 2. And I last reviewed this like 3 years ago, so I thought we would come back and review it again. I'm not going to record the review right now, but I'm going to collect B-roll right now. We'll test it with all the things that it claims to be compatible with. So that is the plan. That is the game plan. Hey, Justin Roberts, good to see you. Ando Gamer, good to see you as well. So yeah, these are this is a new version of an older controller. And as you can see, it's now got the Hall effect sticks. So that's the innovation. Ned Dredd is here. Hello there. So we are going to open this up, and we're going to see what's inside. How about I put it back on here so you can see what's inside? Ooh, it's blue. It feels good. It feels like the other one. Let's see. Yeah, it feels very close to the other one. I don't know if it's because this one is newer, but the D-pad on this one feels snappier. And we'll see how that translates in the real world here in a minute. But otherwise, it appears to be the same. It's got the rechargeable battery. You can swap it out, actually, if you wanted to. So you could take this battery out and just run it off of AA's if you wanted to, I think. Yeah. Yeah, so it'll take AA's or use the included battery. And I've always been a big fan of this controller. This has remained my favorite out of all the controllers that they've made, partly because it's comfortable and it's very versatile. Big K is here. Good to see you, sir. Depth of Horror. Good evening. Good evening to you. Hopefully it's not a scary night for you. Steve is here. Fran wants to know which colors are there. So if you go to my link in the video description, it'll take you right in. This is the blue. They have an atomic purple, and there's also a white one. I am not sure. Let me see if, let me take a look at the link myself, because I don't know if they've got, so this is the color of the original one that I have, which is like the PlayStation color. Let me see if, let's take a look and see what colors are offered. Oh, they do, yeah, so they have the whole line. So they have this color still. They have a kind of a, they call this one the G Classic Edition. You're not able to see what I'm showing you, but they've got one that looks like a Game Boy. They have this one for the color. This is the old one with the regular Alp sticks. This has now got the Hall effect sticks. Atomic purple, translucent, transparent green, crystal blue, which is this one, and then they also have a black one. So there's lots of colors. And if you click the link and you come over to the live stream, you'll see all the different colors they have. So yeah, so that is the controller part. Pretty slick. This one has analog triggers, and I'll show you some software a little bit later so you can configure that. And the big difference between this one and the old one is that these sticks are now Hall effect sticks. Now, if you're not familiar with Hall effect, what it means is that instead of using potentiometers to measure where the sticks are located, it uses a magnetic sensor to figure out the position of the stick. And these can be more sensitive, a little bit more precise, but they also are not prone to wearing out and drifting over time. And you sometimes get better dead zones on these too. Depth of Horror is a GTA 5 fan. If I have it installed, I will see if I have it on the machines that I'm going to test out here today. Josiah is here. Drewy still has the last gen run. I do too. Yeah, it's been holding up fine, and mine survived kids. So this is my Pro 2. And it's still my favorite controller. Like whenever I reach for a controller, like this is the one I go for. Primarily because I'm a big retro gamer, and it's nice to have something that works for both retro and otherwise. And then what I don't have at the moment, I can't find where I put it, but these have the ability to clip on a smartphone clip, so you could attach your phone to it. And what's nice about these is that because you have the grips here at the bottom, it feels really nice when you have a phone attached to it. And yeah, the battery's replaceable. That's kind of an unusual thing in this day and age. And you could put AA's in. So if you had rechargeable AA's, you could swap those in if you wanted to. But the onboard battery works great. D. Johnson is here. Not much. I'm trying to get a bunch of stuff done. And I realized this morning that I didn't have a lot of I didn't have a lot of things in the hopper here. So I'm trying to get like all the pre-game stuff shot so that I can record a bunch of stuff later today or tomorrow. It looks like also they give you some grips here to put over the thumbsticks if you want. So we can keep those in the box, little accessory item. And then we have the cable, which I will actually take advantage of here. All right, so why don't we do the switch first. And then we'll kind of work through a couple of different systems. And unfortunately, the one thing, so these controllers are extremely compatible, except with the Xbox. So this doesn't work with the Xbox or with the PlayStation, but it works with the Switch, and then everything else that takes game controllers, and the Steam Deck and all that. Rome Knows Tech just joined us on the Amazon chat. Hello there. So the question is, though, this or an Xbox Series X controller? Why I like these, especially for retro gaming, is that you've got a proper Super Nintendo layout here. So you've got a great D-pad. We'll test that out in a minute. And then, of course, you've got all the other buttons in a Super Nintendo style layout, but it feels like a PlayStation controller. It's a perfect mashup of all the controllers that I like. That's why I like these so much. Yeah, the Ultimate's a great controller also. Exactly. And Manrom says, my kid hates the gray one since they are used to... Yeah, I guess that's the thing, right? Like, I see the gray as like a very attractive color. Because back in my day, the gray controllers were like high-tech and futuristic, and now it's vintage. So you have a wide choice of colors, and you can see them all in the link in the video description. All right, so let me get my switch plugged in here, and we'll see how quickly it loads up with that. And another thing I like about the Pro 2 controller is that it has switches here for what device you're connecting it to. All right, so we are powered up here. And where did I put my switch? I brought it down here. Where is it? Is it buried under everything? This is my problem, everybody, is that I constantly lose stuff. And I had it with me. I brought it down. It was like, here. Where did my switch go? Let's see. Give me a second, everybody. I just got to track down my switch. I got my Steam Deck here. I have the gaming laptop that we're going to look at in a minute. But I can't seem to find where I put my switch. Here, why don't you talk amongst yourselves for a second while I try to figure out what I did with it. I know it made its way down here because it was on top of my laptop. So I might have brought it over to my desk over here, maybe? No, it's not here. Yeah, this is my lot in light, everybody. Every day, I am looking for stuff that I've put down somewhere. So my daughters, who are much more organized than me, are going to be working here in the family business soon. And what they will be doing is keeping their dad organized. So that is the short-term game plan. So yeah, give me a second. I think I have to run back upstairs real quick and find my... Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just my advanced age. I put stuff down and I'm like, what do I do with this thing, you know? It's funny, though, in the work that I do with NSF and doing some of the NASA stuff that I've worked on in the past, I've talked to astronauts, and one of the things that they struggle with is that they you let go of something and it doesn't drop to the floor, right? So it just floats. And initially their brains aren't wired to think about letting go of something and having it not fall to the floor. So they will have things floating like right in front of them and they don't see it because their brains are not, it's like it's not registering that that's where the stuff should be. It's kind of a fun perspective. Yeah, so I don't think, I'm not expecting much new on this. It's funny, I first reviewed the Pro 2, this one, 3 years ago. So it's hard to fix something that's already good. I will say it feels like there's a little more travel. Maybe on D-pad feels a little different to me than this one. Like this one feels like it doesn't travel as far. So I'm eager to see how that performs. So there might be a little bit of difference on the D-pad and certainly the Hall effect sticks. That's true. Yes, they do work with that. And I do have one of those. I should try that out too. All right, bear with me. Let me go find my my switch. I will be right back. So talk amongst yourselves here as I look around for this thing. Well, it's not where I thought it was. And I know it made it downstairs because I almost dropped it. So let's see if where it ended up, unless any of you see it. The other problem is I have a million things with a million screens everywhere in this place. So it's not surprising that it would go missing here. All right, hang on. It's got to be down here. So the question is, where down here is it? And the other problem that's compounding this is I made 2 trips to bring all the stuff down that I'm testing. And I think that contributed to the issue here. And unfortunately, I don't have one of those things that I can ping my switch to tell me where it is. And usually it's my kids that are misplacing it, right? But today it is me. So what could have happened to our switch? If not, we'll start off with something else. Because I also have the mister down here too. So here's the mister. I wonder what happened to it. Well, maybe we'll do the this is going to drive me crazy because I know I had it with me like 2 seconds ago. I got my Steam Deck. Maybe we'll try something else first. All right, well, let's do the mister here. It's not on the dock. Yeah, that would have been great, right, if it was inside the dock here. So I do have some other stuff. So for those of you who have been following me for a while, I have my mister here. And I recently got the Mister's add-on aluminum case for it. Look how nice this looks. Because for a long time, it was just like a pile of circuit boards. So now it's new and improved. But I really wanted to start with the switch so I could get all of that footage out of the way here first. And now it is not here. So I'm going to take one more trip upstairs where it likely still is, and then I will be right back. And then we will get moving here. Because I got work to do. Be right back. So it's not anywhere where I last saw it, which is crazy because I just had it in my hands just a few minutes ago. Okay, the switch has been located, and we can begin. Whew. Got my stair steps in. Hopefully I didn't, there we go. I'm back. That's right. And just like every live stream, something is missing. Something's missing. So we found the switch. It is back in hand here. And hopefully, there it goes. And what I'm going to do here first is switch this into switch mode. Yeah, it was actually upstairs where I started. I had put it down because I went to grab the mister, so I put it down like on the other side of the room from where the mister was. But now I've managed to find it, so we are good to go. And I completely agree. They need a Find My on that one. And that's right. Amda Brown is one of our longtime supporters of the channel. Greatly appreciate everything, as always. And thanks for tuning into the live stream. All right, so we've got this now switched into switch mode. And what should happen when we boot the switch up here, if it comes up, let's see. It's funny, I've been so into the Steam Deck lately that I haven't done much with my Switch in a while. So we should put it back on here. And I think we got to get the display set up for the right input. Oh, great. Let's see. And HDMI is connected. Yep, they're all connected there. I mean, it doesn't like the HDMI cable. Because usually, if you just pop it out and pop it back in, I need to use another HDMI cable. Yeah, that's usually what happens. The last place that I check is when it goes. And now the HDMI isn't working, so we got to find another HDMI cable here. That's not a problem in this place because I got a million HDMI cables. All right, let's try this one. I haven't used this dock in a while either, so I wonder if that might have something to do with it. My original dock I took apart because I got one of these little kits that turned it into a smaller dock. Because my Switch, here it goes. My Switch is one of the OG Switches. And, oh wow, it already paired up. That was quick. It just paired up right away. All right, looks like we are good to go. Oops. How do I continue my game here? So I was playing Street Fighter with my kids. I was trying to get them to appreciate the beauty that is Street Fighter 2. Yeah, it feels pretty good. One thing that I've always noticed with the Switch is that you do get a little bit of latency on its Bluetooth controller. And the one downside of the Hall effect sticks here is that, or with this particular controller, not the Hall effect sticks, is that you don't have a 2.4 gigahertz dongle option. And that can often level the playing field because you don't have to deal with issues with the Bluetooth controller adding latency. And that's another good point from Drewy. You cannot power it on from this controller. That's correct. I think only the Pro controller, the Nintendo one, or one that's an official, more official one, will let you do that. But we can jump out here. And I wanted to actually load up Super Mario Odyssey because one thing that the prior version of this controller let you do is it would give you some of the motion controls for the hat. So we're going to try that out real quick. And what I'm going to do in the interim here is set up some B-roll so we can get that going. This is the Pro 2 Hall effect. All right. And what I want to see here is if it will yes, it feels very good. You know what's amazing is how much they've been able to get out of the Switch system. Yep, perfect. It does work with that. So there's the hat throw. So it does all the different gestures. Pretty cool, huh? Woo! And it's got a pretty good vibration motor in there too. Yes, they're all great. And the new so the SN30 now they also have Hall effect on those now too, so you get much better sticks than you got before. So I'm just going to mark some B-roll here. This is, should I do 101? All right, we're good to go on that one. And I think what I might do is just pick a different stage here. Oops. You know, it's funny, I haven't played this game in a while, but like the muscle memory is still there. Oops. And I always get the buttons mixed up. I've been playing so much with my Switch and my Xbox games that the confirmation button's reversed on the Switch versus the other one. Oops, I did it again. See that? You haven't really picked up the Switch in a while, so I got to get back on it. And you can actually see the little motor turning. Check it out. See it? Those are the rumble motors going. It's kind of neat to see that through the plastic. Isn't that cool? That's kind of neat. Yeah, so you have to like this stick arrangement. So this is like the PlayStation arrangement, not the Xbox one. So their other one, the Ultimate controller, which I have here. So this is the one where you get the Hall effect sticks in an Xbox layout. But for retro gaming, for me at least, I don't like where the D-pad is on these, so I prefer the D-pad location there. So they have a stick for every occasion. But yeah, it feels pretty good. What's nice about these Hall effect sticks is that they feel smoother because there's no potentiometer or anything like that. So you don't feel like it doesn't have that feel like it's activating something because it's kind of just floating. It's hard to explain, but it feels really good. Wish I was better at the game than I am here, but I'm also playing with I gotta look at the right screen here. But works just fine on the Switch. the Hall effect stick, it just feels noticeably more precise. It's hard to put it, it's hard to explain it, but they just don't have that feel like there's something else in between you and the controls, if that makes sense. So yeah, it feels good. All right, so that's good. We got our switch stuff down. NJS says Samsung finally has a 1 terabyte SD card. It still boggles my mind that we can fit a terabyte into something so small. All right, so that's done. So now we're going to power down the switch here, and we're going to switch gears, if you will. So let's turn it off here. And now, I guess we'll do the Steam Deck next. My Steam Deck is getting dusty. So here's what's neat about the Steam Deck. Well, it's always neat. I love my Steam Deck. I've been using this a lot because it's become like my go-to PlayStation also. I've been playing through Burnout Revenge at night when the kids are getting ready for bed. So that's been kind of my go-to on that. Oops. So what I just got in, I haven't tested, I'm testing this right now as a matter of fact. This little hub that came in free of charge through the Amazon Vine program. But check it out, it's got a, I wonder if this does, let's see. I don't think it does video output though, does it? Let's try that out and see. So this goes on the back of your Steam Deck. Isn't that handy? And what it supposedly can do, and we'll try this out right now, supposedly it will give you like a full-on docking experience. Let's see if it passes through everything here. So I'm curious if this will pass video through, so why don't we try that first and see. Because if it does, then you could run power. It's kind of like a multi-purpose thing there. So let me get my HDMI out here. Let's see if this thing works the way I would hope it would. If not, it's just giving you a USB port extension, but let's see. Let's see, the monitor picks something up, but it doesn't look like it passes video through. Try it again here. Yeah, it doesn't seem to work. So it doesn't do video, unfortunately. So let's try to plug this in directly and make sure there wasn't anything wrong with my, yeah, now it's passing through, yeah. So unfortunately, so this is handy in the sense that, well, that's a bummer. So it's handy in the sense that you got your power going through there, but it doesn't seem to do any video output. So you could, of course, plug in some other devices there, which is helpful, but not great. Yeah, so Hall effect does reduce the chance of drift by a long shot, but I've also found that because you don't have those potentiometers working in there, it feels smoother. It's hard to explain, but they feel smoother. I think there's like, it's not working against something, but it just feels better to me. All right, now what I don't have for my Steam Deck is a means of propping it up. So I'm going to take out my little stand here. Actually, no, we could do is just do it this way. I'm not going to do the video output. What we'll do is just kind of put it in like this. And we'll get to the mister. And what I will do now is let's switch this into X input mode. Now, generally, I like to connect my controllers up directly with a USB cable whenever I can, because that gives you the least amount of latency. And let's go into, let's see, controller settings. Let's see, I haven't actually not paired up a controller with this thing over Bluetooth yet. So why don't we go into our settings here. Add device. And there's a reset button on the top. So now it's putting it into pairing mode. And we have our 8bitdo Pro 2 on the list here. And it's connected. Easy peasy. Now, does it detect it, though, as a game controller? Like, can I... I think it's probably showing up as a second controller, maybe? Let's see. Yeah, so it's connected, but it's not registering on the thing here. Oops. I may have to select a different controller. Let's see. Maybe one of my Steam Deck experts can... So I've got it paired up. I'm guessing this is showing up as a second controller. All right, so that's still registering to the other controller. So maybe what we do is let's plug it back into the display here and see what happens. So it sees it, but it doesn't seem like it's... Oh, I see. I just saw something that I missed. Let's see. Let's go back over to settings. Controller. Ah, here it is. So it shows up as an Xbox One controller. So, oh, now I've got control. Yeah, now it's working. All right, so what if I disconnect? Well, yeah, let's disconnect it from the display and see if it still recognizes it. Yep, now it's still working. Cool. All right, so let's do a quick demo of that. I stream live. I sure do. And Mark Dell, thank you for the mug purchase. Let me know how it's looking. I was impressed. I thought the mugs came out nice. I put mine through the dishwasher already, and it still looks the same. So that was good. Yeah, I would love it. I was surprised that they even revved this one, because I thought what was happening was I thought what they were doing was like just getting rid of the Pro 2 completely in place of the Ultimate. And there were features of the Pro 2 that I really liked, the big one being the switch here in the back, because the Ultimate just like, it depends on how you plug it in as to what mode it's in, right? So Matt K is here. Hello there. Yes, these are available. So if you save the link, you can watch it later. And usually I silently publish them in the future. But yeah, I do live. I used to do a lot more live than I have been, but I'm trying to do more. I had a good run of live on Amazon Prime Day, so I've been trying to get back into doing it a little bit more. It's been a little busy, trying to get used to like normal life again. When we were all locked in our houses, it was we did a lot of live streaming. Yeah, so that's what I mean. It feels like there's less resistance there. Like you can often feel a little bit of the actuators. Like on my Steam Deck, I can feel it a little bit. I don't know. It's hard to say. And it could just be the nature of these analog sticks and how they design them, because the only ones I really have experience with are the ones that I've gotten from 8bitdo or their supplier on those. And I have not bought the OLED version, so I'm still on the original. But I love my original. This thing's great. And here's the secret sauce of the Steam Deck, is that the games run at 720p. And on this small display, you don't see the graphical reduction in quality, because it's got such a high dot pitch. So look how good this game looks in here. All right, so let's do a record here. This game is so awesome. That's the only game I play now is this, like modern games. There's no, right now I'm doing the expedition, the community expedition, so I'm trying to capture all the bugs. But yeah, it works just fine. Watch this. We're going to go right into this planet here. And the other thing that's cool when you do these community expeditions is that there's a lot of other people playing in this expedition right now, so you see other players almost everywhere you go, which is really neat. So I haven't seen a magnetic Hall effect keyboard yet, but I do have a keyboard that is an optical mechanical keyboard, which is kind of cool. All right, so now we're going to this planet here. I'm going to go into the sunlight a little bit. This game is called No Man's Sky, for those of you curious. And this game runs great on the Steam Deck. And what I love about Steam is that it automatically syncs your game up. So I have my gaming PC upstairs hooked up with a fiber optic HDMI cable to my TV, to my OLED TV upstairs. So I can just pick right up. And you can hop out of your spaceship and explore a planet. You can build bases. And I've got like this monster thing. I'll show it to you real quick. I have like a mech that follows me around. Check this out. Let's go over to, I can summon him. There he is. Well, I think I have to put this thing out. Hang on, let me go do this real quick. I had to go put my, I got to drop my Exocraft summoning station. And now that that's here, I can go and pull up my mech here. Here he is. Watch, boom. Is that awesome? Look at that guy. Now, when I'm not in him, he follows me around. Isn't that cool? And then I can hop in him. Now I'm inside of him, and I can wreak havoc on the terrain here. And I've got different weapons. So I've got like that thing. I've got, what's the other one I have? Let's see, there's a way to switch, nope, not that one, hang on. There's a way I can switch the weapons on this guy. But what's cool is that when you're getting like attacked by the sentinels, like this guy helps you out. All right, let's see. If I have to hit, switch is Y. There it goes. So I got this weapon, I have a flamethrower. And then I've got like a laser beam too. I've seen him do a laser beam. I can't figure that out at the moment, but isn't that cool? And he's like your little buddy, and he protects you. And so he'll like keep an eye on things, and if somebody attacks me, he just takes him out. It's really cool. Yeah, so that's neat. That works great. So Steam Deck. Steam Deck works great. So we're good there. Yeah, they got that C64 keyboard. That's really cool. So that's neat. Yeah, they have. So I reviewed that keyboard just recently, but not the IBM one. I have the Nintendo colored one, but I think the keycaps even have that curve curve to them. And they have a number pad that goes with it. And I agree, everyone needs one of those mech suits. So it's hard to say. I'm not like a heavy duty gamer, but I mean for my kids we use this one on the Switch upstairs with my kids, and I'm plugging it in like every month or two, if that. Like we don't play that much right now because we've been busy with the summer stuff, but my kids aren't into video games as much as their old man is. In the winter, we tend to do a little bit more. That's a good question. Let's take a look. Like Epic Games. Let's try that because I actually have the Epic Launcher thing on here somewhere. Let's go. Oops. So I have the Heroic Launcher thing. Here it is, Heroic Games Launcher. So I have some non-Steam games on here. Let's see. Let's see how it does. I think it works now because Steam supports X input. But let's put it to the test and see. Oh, I got Pro Skater on here. What is this now? Oh, I got to log back into my Epic account. You know what I'll do here? Because I don't have. Here's what I'll do. I will load up. Why don't we load up a non-Steam game? This is Burnout Revenge, which is a PlayStation game. All right, I got to quit this first, I guess. Everything's logged out. So it drives me crazy. Like everything gets logged out, and I got to spend like all this time like logging back in. Every time like I boot up my Xbox, because I don't play the Xbox all that often, everything is out of date. Everything has to get updated. So by the time I have like a half-hour window after dinner, right? And by the time I get everything back together, it's all it's not updated enough. So I lose out. But yeah, I have it in X input mode right now. So let's see if it detects the controller. And so far, so good. Yeah, it looks like it's working. Have they ever made a game better than this for racing? I don't think so. So Nedwood wants, yes, I do have, I could get a Chromebook out and test it with that. I expect it will work, but I will definitely, that's a good suggestion. I did not have that on my list either, so thank you for suggesting that. So we'll do that. We'll do the Chromebook next. Okay. Yep, works fine. I mean, how cool is it to be able to take my favorite racing game with me anywhere I go? It's really fun. I'm not driving very well because I'm not paying attention, but I gotta build up some boost here. Oh, geez. Well, it does work. Despite my poor playing, it does work. All right, so let me just make some clip notes here. This is 200 Steam Deck. We have 201 emulation on the Steam Deck. I'm just making logging clips here. All right. But there you go. So yeah, let's get the Chromebook out next. Yes, I am a man of culture. It's always fun having Mark Dell in the chat. Hey, you know what? I've got, Stephen, behind me, I have cassette games. Check this out. So this is Frogger. So you all in the UK called the ZX something or other. This is the Timex Sinclair 1000, which is that computer right behind that box of floppy disks there. And the games came on cassette. It's really cool. The good news is with YouTube, you can show them video examples of people loading games from cassettes, and it took forever. It took a really long time. But EMU Deck on the Steam Deck is just amazing. So it's made the whole process of not I don't have to deal with anything. I just load the games up and they work. Like it's wonderful. All right, so next up, we got a request for a Chromebook. So we're going to do that now. And so what I'm going to do here is have my Steam Deck forget the controller so that I don't continually have the Steam Deck reconnecting to it. All right. But yeah, I've been, because of the EMU Deck, I've been playing with the Steam Deck so much more, including some games that I have been meaning to play for decades. I'm finally getting to now. So let me go grab the Chromebook real quick. And you know what's funny? The emulated games actually, from a battery life perspective, do really well. All right, I just got to find that. I've got like Chromebooks all over the place in here. And of course, the one that I most recently looked at, which is a great one to test with this, is not where oh, here it is. So this is the HP Chromebook Plus that we're going to look at here. And let me give you the camera view here. Move our display out of the way temporarily. All right, oops. So let's get the Chromebook going here. I'll probably have to plug it in because it's been a while. Oops. And my tech guy Tim says I could. Yes, I guess I could do that, right? I could power it. He's talking about the Xbox and how you can set it to auto update. The problem is I don't like it running all the time because I rarely use it, so I don't like it consuming all that much power. What's neat is this thing has been off for months and it held its charge. That's pretty cool. It must have like totally shut itself down, but it's fully charged. All right, let me type my password in here if I can remember what I put in. I did. Oh, good. All right. So why don't we pair it up? The request was Chromebook and Steam or GeForce Now. So maybe I'll do GeForce Now on here. All right, so let's take a look at our Bluetooth settings. So we'll pair a new device, and I have it in X input mode again. I think that's the right mode for this. We'll see. So we pair it up here again. 8bitdo Pro 2 is on the list. Oops. Oh, no, not living room. Here we go. 8bitdo Pro 2. All right, we are paired up. And I believe I had installed the GeForce Now app on here. Let's see. I'm trying to remember how they suggest playing on these devices. Yeah, we got the app. Okay. That's right, because this supports the game dashboard and everything. All right, we are loaded up. So let's see. We do Starfield. I have not been able to get myself into Starfield. I got to log my Xbox account in here. Give me one second here, everybody, because I also have to get into my password manager so that I can. And I do my verification code. And we're only halfway there because I just have to get into the password manager, and then I've got to log into the Microsoft thing. Okay. All right, so we're in there. And oh, good. I remember my password settings. Okay. And I got to type in my code again. So the code for the Microsoft is in there. Okay, stay signed in, yes. Yes. All right, we're connected. Now I am getting a battery warning saying my controller's battery is low, but I don't think it is. Now, what's neat about GeForce Now, if it works, is that GeForce Now will now work with your Xbox game library. So I have Game Pass Ultimate. So it will allow you to stream the PC versions of the games at much higher resolution, which is really cool. So Blag says, do a stream where you get... Yes, I don't get high, but I do play Wing Commander. So I will play Wing Commander on a stream one day. How about that? That's right, we will do 3DO Wing Commander. Super Wing Commander, how about that? In fact, I've been playing Super Wing Commander on my Steam Deck with a 3DO emulator. How's that? Yeah, I like the Steam Deck. I have turned out, like, I thought I was going to get it. I thought I was going to review it and sell it, you know, but I ended up really digging it. And I play my PC games now a lot more. I'm starting to go through my Steam library a little bit. I keep adding games to it, but I'm actually I'm enjoying it. And Matt Kelly, if you're watching, thank you for picking up a mug at the store. I just saw the order come through. Luckily for you, I don't have to ship all those out, so that it's an on-demand thing. Yeah, so there's a launcher called Heroic Games Launcher, and that will work. It works great. And I have not been able to get into Burnout Paradise. It just doesn't have the same appeal to me. All right, so at the moment, this controller does not seem to be... There it goes. All right, so now we're on a Chromebook, and we have this in X input mode. I'm missing a bunch of chats here, so if I didn't get to you, ask again. Yeah, I'm not crazy about the shipping costs either. I've been ordering samples of all the stuff, and it's they're digging me pretty good on the shipping. This is using Fourth Wall, I think. It's one of the YouTube anointed platforms. That's how I'm able to put this stuff in there. The shipping is not as bad when you get multiple items. Yeah, I had to get the glasses, which really I only need for closer in stuff. And one eye was worse than the other, so this is really, like, it's so much better now. I'm actually surprised how effective the glasses were for me. Ooh, Super Wing Commander handheld with Batocera. So the 3DO version of Super Wing Commander. But yeah, that's a great version of Wing Commander. I don't know if you've all seen this, but there's a guy on Twitter, X. What's his name now? That's going to drive me crazy. Hang on a second, because I need to show you this. He's remaking Wing Commander in Unity. It's ridiculously cool. Actually, I can actually pull it up. Howie Day on Twitter. Look him up. Howie, I-E, H-O-W-I-E. It's called Wing Leader. And he's got a web demo of it. Let me see if I can find it real quick here. Yeah, I'll show it to you in a minute. Okay, let's get the B-roll done here. So Chromebook. It's all working. And this is GeForce Now. So great compatibility there as well. All right, let's ship that one. 300, Chrome OS. Okay. And we'll go and exit the game here. Yeah, so he's got, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. You guys are all going to die when you see this. I just got to find how I can load it up. Okay, here it is. All right, so I'm going to set this up on a short URL link for you all. So Lon.TV/WC Unity. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, WC Unity. I'm going to boot it up on this browser in a second here. You can see what it looks like. It's insane. And this is not even like the current version of it. Oh my God, it looks so good. Okay, so let me show you here. So let's go back to quit. And if you're into Wing Commander, this is gonna change your life. And it's a one guy doing this, okay? The 55-minute monster strikes again. Look how amazing this looks. I don't think there's any audio yet. But he's got a rolling demo. Oh, it does. So here you go. You can't play it yet, but if you're into Wing Commander, like this is how a remake should be made. Look how cool this looks. So what he did, wish I could make this full screen. There we go. What he did is he remade the game in Unity, but he kept the original spirit of the art, but made it work, right? So it looks like how it was supposed to look like on the box. Isn't that cool? It's amazing. Not to get off track here, right? But I had to show you all this. And if you follow him on Twitter, he's continually updating this. Like he's really working on this. And it's one guy. Wait until you see the explosions. The explosions are amazing. And I don't know where you got the music from, but it's like really good. But he's got it all working. It's like really cool. And and what I love about the artwork is that it's true to the original, but it's modern at the same time. Like I said, it works the way that it was supposed to on the box. So when the big issue with Wing Commander, the original one in 91 when it came out, the box art looked amazing and the game didn't line up with the screenshots on the box. In fact, I called them like, hey, something's not right here. Like I'm not getting the graphics that are on the box. And yeah, they just didn't match up. Let's see if he gets the... I just want to show you the explosions because they're so cool. But he's got like on the shots that he's sharing on Twitter, he's got sound effects for the ships. He's built out most of the ships at this point. It's just so cool. Exactly. It's perfect. Yes, so Mark Hamill was in 3. He was in Wing Commander 3, 4, and Wing Commander Prophecy. He played Commander Christopher Blair, I think is his there it goes, boom. Aren't those explosions cool? And he's modeled out all the Kilrathi ships also. Because there was a couple of levels in Wing Commander where you could fly the enemy ships. I remember that. There were so many rewards in that game. It was just so cool. Branching storylines, a real narrative. It was such a great game. Hey, it's getting late there, Stephen. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I try to change up the times every now and then, so hopefully I can get a time that's a little better for you in Taiwan. But thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I love his interpretation. I think he's done a great job with this. And you know what would be awesome? Like, because he's got this in Unity, why not make a VR version of it? Wouldn't that be cool? So cool. And this is running, by the way, in a Unity player on a web browser on a Chromebook. Look at the performance he's getting out of it. So that's great. So Sunny D, I loaded photos and videos on an external hard drive from my Mac. When I go to play the files in my LG media player, my guess would be that you've got the drive formatted for the Mac and not a format that the TV can pick up. That would be my guess. All right, should we get back to work here? We got a few more things to test. All right, so let's go back and get some work done. So we've got, let's see, we got the Chromebook demo. Next up is iOS. So why don't we do that real quick before I start? I want to play this and I can't. That's what kills me. So cool. All right, so hopefully he releases this as a game because this is like coming together. It's really cool. All right, let me go and just disconnect my controller again. All right, we'll forget that. I think I'm charged, but I'm going to pop this in anyhow just to make sure we have enough charge on there. And I think what I'll do is update this Chromebook, because why not? All right, so let's do that real quick. We'll update the Chromebook. It's got 3 updates, big ones. All right, so now we're going to do iOS. So we're going to take out my phone. My iPad is never charged, but my phone is always ready for action. So now what's cool about the iPhone is that, let me pick a game out of here that would work. What's the name of that game? I so rarely play games on my phone these days. And I think I canceled my arcade subscription. Let's see. Am I subscribed? I am not. But I have plenty of games that I can play on here. So let's go to games and see which ones I actually own. Oh, you know what I could do? I could play that, I know what yeah, let's do that Ninja Turtles game. Oh, I need to pair the controller up first. Let's do that. So Netflix, I did a video about this the other day. Netflix has a bunch of games. And you were right, Mark Cattell. Well, I could play Vampire Survivors too. They have a bunch of games on Netflix for iPhones and Android phones that are part of your subscription. You don't have to pay extra to play them. It's really cool. All right, let's shut that down. Let me go pair this up real quick. So we'll put the controller into pairing mode. Again, we're still X input on here. And we should see it popping up here, 8bitdo Pro 2. All right, we're paired up. And what I'm going to do here also is turn on my Do Not Disturb. Yeah, the Netflix one is good. This is the same one that it's like the remake of the arcade thing. What is it called? Shredder's Revenge. That's right. Seems to work already. I'm always Leonardo. That's my usual go-to. All right, let's give it a go. Nothing will beat, though, the 1989 original arcade game. That was so groundbreaking. Yes, they do, and I have one somewhere. I just don't know where it is. I think I've got it on the table over there, so I'll probably try to track it down. But it seems to work just fine. What's cool is that Apple's finally allowing emulators again, so that helps. And this game's fun, but it just doesn't feel the same as the arcade original does. Like, it's got a lot of the same gameplay to it. I think it might be that this is the mobile version and it's just a little more constrained, but something about the original arcade game just had a feel to it that this doesn't really have. But the graphics are great. It's got a lot of personality. It's good stuff. That seems to work just fine. Ooh, you got the quarter arcade. That's cool. Leonardo is Matt's favorite. He goes the narc. You know, it's funny. I was not old enough. I was too old for the cartoon. So my brother, who was much younger than me, was into the cartoon big time. But the arcade game, I loved the arcade game. Even though I wasn't watching the show, I knew about the show, and I was like, "Wow, this arcade game's awesome!" Because I think I was in 7th grade when the arcade game came out. My Dairy Queen had it. And I went to my Dairy Queen the other day, the same one. It sucks. Like, it's a great, Dairy Queen's great. Great family owns it, all that, but the video games are out. Like, they have like one multi-arcade junky thing and then the rest of the claw machines. So disappointing. Like, we got to get back to that. Oh, you're 44. Huh. Well, maybe I thought I was too old. I don't know. I just never got into the cartoon. But, you know, back then, so I'm 47. So, you know what? No, that might be right, because I'm 47, so I'm 3 years older than you. Like, that was 3 years is a big time, a big age gap, right? So when did the cartoon come out? 88, 89? So all I remember was that it would not be cool if I liked this cartoon. I mean, it's so different now. Like, adults are into cartoons more than kids are these days. My Pizza Hut had Super Dodgeball. That was an awesome game. All right, we got that done. Now we're going to do the Mister. Let me make sure I forgot the controller here. All right, so forget the controller. All right, so now we're going to connect it to my Mister. I'm going to hardwire it to the Mister, and the reason is I don't have my Bluetooth dongle hooked up to it at the moment. But let's get the display back out. And for those of you who are tuning in late, I recently upgraded my Mister. So check this out. I got the metal case from Mr. Add-ons. It's so cool. And it's a fanless case. The whole case is a heatsink. So it's so much quieter now too. It's really nice. I'm super, super happy with it. All right, so let's get this thing hooked up here. I'm going to put this dongle back so I don't lose it. And I'm also going to hook my keyboard up because I have to configure the controller. I'm going to be doing a video soon on how I retro because I generally use the Mister hooked up to my CRT television. Isn't that cool? All right, let's plug it in. Yeah, the only thing I have to figure out still is how to get it to work with one power supply versus two. And I got to plug the display in. It's like, why isn't the display working? Because you didn't plug it in. Let's plug the display in. Oh, I got to also plug in. Okay, there we go. All right. Ugh. Whoop. Okay. So, what we're going to do now is plug in the controller to one of the USB ports. So on my Mister here, I've got, this is a Wi-Fi. I have my CD images and larger ROMs on the hard drive here. And I'm going to just swap this out to the, let's plug it on the other side here. So I have USB ports all over this thing. So then we'll plug this in. And it's detected it. In fact, I can start using it right away here. But what I'm going to do is just, I'm trying to remember how to find joystick buttons. Okay, D-pad test, press right. Stick 1 test, tilt right, tilt down. Stick 2 test, tilt right, tilt down. Press right. I'm assuming on the D-pad, left, down, up, A, B, Y. All right, and I'm just going to hit enter. All right, we're good to go. Perfect. Speaking of turtles, why don't we do a little turtles? Let's see here. Mister's getting better and better every day. Yeah, this is it here. So this is going to load up the arcade version. I don't have the sound connected. I should get a speaker or something. The sound is amazing on this. Now let's see if the analog controls work. What's awesome about the fact that this works with a CRT television is that you can play it on a tube TV and it looks, it's the arcade. It's exactly like it. There's no other way to go about it. So this is working with the, it's not working with the analog control, but let me pause this real quick. I don't think we can pause it. Let's go to F12 here. How do I get my, oh wait, I'll turn the keyboard on. Just want to see if I can get my, I think my keyboard died. Let's plug in the power to it. Oh, it's like mapped incorrectly here. Usually the function key. Oh, I'm really like stuck here. Hang on a second. Oh, what did I do? Now I'm screwing up everything. I'm screwing it all up. I think I just rebooted it. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So I wanted to remap the controls. The problem is my keyboard is mapped to something incorrectly here, which is a problem. Let's see if we can get around it. I must have done something to screw it up earlier. Batman on NES, that's a great game. So I am not using Retro NAS. I never got around to doing that, partly because my Mister moves all over the house. So that contributes to it. How do I lock the function on this thing? So I'm supposed to be able to hit F12 on here and get my menu up. But you know what? I've got a million keyboards here. So why don't we hook up a keyboard? Just do it that way. Let's see. Why don't we do, I'm thinking out loud here. Yeah, the keyboard mappings can be a little challenging with this stuff. Let's see if I can get this one to work. So the problem is, this one's not working either. Let's see. I gotta turn it on. Let's see. I just need like a normal keyboard to plug into this thing. So I'm trying to get the controls to map, but it looks like on this particular one, it's mapping the, I thought I had another keyboard laying around here. It seems to be mapping the controls incorrectly. And I can't pull up the menu. And my function lock isn't working either. I wonder if, oh, I have it in the wrong mode. That might be why. Let's try that. There we go. Ah, that's what I was looking for. So what happened was the keyboard was in Android mode, so it confused the thing there. All right, right, left, down, up, jump, attack, start, coin. And I can... So it might be, oops, shoot, I just screwed up. It might be that user menu. All right, let's try this again here and see. I suspect that I have to just map it that way. That might do it. Let's see. Let's see if it works now. It might just be that this doesn't support. Yes, I think I have to like map the analog controls directly, so that's probably why it's not working. Like what I could do here is I go into this and define the buttons, right, left, down, up. All right, so now, oops, shoot. Yeah, so now it's working. And I died. Pretty cool, though. Of course, my playing ability is not great. But you know, it's funny, like that new game, you know, granted it was on a mobile phone, but it doesn't, like, even like the characters don't feel as large as the original. Like these sprites are huge, right? Such a great game. My friends and I we would go to Dairy Queen just to play the game. We'd have some ice cream and we'd play the crap out of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles until we ran out of money. And you know what was neat about this one? It was that it's like, wow, the graphics on this are good, but I think like the Genesis could do it. But it took so long for them to actually come out with a port, right? It wasn't until like we had the Keystone or the Hyperstone Heist on the Genesis and the other one on the Super Nintendo. The Super Nintendo one was great, right? That was the one that everyone seemed to gravitate towards. All right, that worked. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many quarters I spent. And there was like nice little surprises in here, like you could throw the guys into the wall. Like there was some cool stuff that I thought was neat about this. But yeah, the Mister's like going crazy. Like they have so Jotego, I'm a Patreon supporter of his. There's so much, like it just keeps going and going. And this is just the arcade games. So, you know, they've got everything else in here too. So, you know, all the computers, it just keeps getting better and better. I can play my ColecoVision on here. Commodore 64, 16, 128, the Coco 2 and 3, that Timex Sinclair back there, I can boot that up. The ZX81, I think, is what it was. And yeah, that's what happened when you boot it up. You got the K. I actually have, I think I have them somewhere. I had the tape images. I actually loaded up a couple of tape images on here a while ago. It's so neat. So yeah, it's cool. And most of these work on the CRT. You just plug on the analog board on the back here. There's a little VGA connector. I can't really show you. I could maybe get it on this image here. There's a VGA connector here. You hook up a component cable to it, and it's really neat. All right, so we got that done. And now what we're going to do is hook up, I think the PC is all I've got left to demo here. And what I'm just going to do before I close out is just get the the software working on the PC, so you can see how that works, because I'm going to show that as part of the demo. But now you can see why I love the Mister so much. It's just so cool. And the fact that it's so easy to get up and running now. I mean, they have a script that runs that just basically does everything for you. It just does its thing. Installs everything. Like I said, it's just so cool to have the ability to play these games on a CRT television. It's really cool. All right, so we're going to take out this big guy here. I have to get these back to Asus. They were kind enough to lend me a couple of their gaming laptops for the big Prime Day event. And I was going to do not a formal review, because these have been out for a while, but I was going to do a little thing on Amazon just to show the differences between, this one is which one is this? This is the ROG's Strick G16. And I wanted to just do a quick video, which I'll do sometime this weekend, kind of giving people the ability to really get an understanding of what the differences are between the ROG Strix and the Tough. The Tough is a great machine, but it's noisier. So these, they're a lot of raw power on those. So this one is a little quieter, but they're both very powerful laptops. And there's some 8bitdo software that I'm going to demo in the main video. And I think we're plugged in. Yeah, we're plugged in. Okay, so let that plug in there. And do I haven't ever installed Chrome on here either. Yeah, so last time I booted this one up was when we did the Prime Day stuff. It's so fast, isn't it? Especially when you're used to using Chromebooks all day long, and it finally gets into a little more juice. I think it's shutting down because it doesn't have enough battery. Let's see. Yeah, it's not happy with me. We'll plug it in and let it charge up for a second or two. Yeah, Turtles in Time, that's what I was thinking of. Oh, that's kind of neat. So Mark here loaded up a Spectrum game on the Mister by playing an MP3 on his phone and plugging it into the aux port. So you did it just like the old-fashioned way there. Yeah, so Apple Arcade is, I agree, Apple Arcade's great. There's no upselling. There's no, they're mobile games, but they don't, like the rule for Apple Arcade is you can't upsell. Like you can't put anything else in there. So the game that you get on Apple Arcade is the game. Netflix is also, I think, in a similar vein with their games. So like that Turtles game is complete. But yeah, if you have a Netflix account, if you go on the App Store, either on Android or on iOS, I would check it out because you get access to a lot of games that you're already paying for. So it's pretty neat. All right, let's let this thing, hopefully it's got enough charge in it now. Yeah, it shut down because it didn't have enough, it must rely a little bit on the battery. Okay, so we're going to go over to support. And they have the Ultimate software, which this works with. So we'll do a Pro, you gotta make sure you got to find the right one here. The Pro 2. And they have versions of the software now across many platforms, as you can see. This looks a little fishy. It's weird that it looks like that. Oh, it's a zip folder. That's weird. Yeah, the good thing is the demo computer. So, it's not picking it up. Transport. There we go. Now what's cool is that you can set the mode that it's operating in. So like all these settings that you do are tied to one of these platforms. So I'll select Windows, which will apply to all the other stuff also. But if we go over here to sticks, this is where you can set all the settings here. And you can see like by default, there's practically no dead zone on this controller. I mean, I'm barely touching it. I mean, just a nudge. So let's compare that now. So that's this one, right? Just a little tiny nudge. I'm barely even touching it. It picks up some movement. Isn't that cool? So now, let's plug in the old one. It is cool hanging out with you guys. I need to do more of this. It's just been crazy busy. Now this one, because it's older, you saw that it was showing us a little stick drift there. So, yeah, see that one's, yeah. So now we've got a little bit of drift developing on this one already. See that? It's still registering movement even though I'm not touching it. But you know what, in fairness, these are pretty sensitive sticks also. But there's a definite precision issue. So let me record this real quick. This might be kind of interesting too. So we still have some movement registered on there, even though we stopped moving the controller. Looks like I had it was a little stuck, and now it's not doing it. Yeah, it's a little better now. But this one, actually, you know what? In fairness, these don't have much of a dead zone on them either. This is the old one. So I think there is a. Is there a? Let's see. Way to reset it. You know, I don't know if this has a calibration feature. I don't see one on here. By the way, also here you have the ability to set the sticks, and you can control the dead zone on those too. Yeah, so I don't see much of an advantage here. I thought that the sticks would be more sensitive on the other one. What I am noticing with this controller is that because it's been used more, it's sometimes like right there, it's stuck on 8%. That's your drift in action right there when these controllers get old. Let me zoom in on that. So you see how it's recording movement even though I'm not touching it? That's your drift happening right there. And that's what you won't have with these other controllers. Let me make a note of that one. So if I unplug this one now, we're not going to see it. And granted, this is a brand new controller, so you won't see it anyhow. But uh-oh. There it goes. So I could probably tell by the way they feel. They feel a little different. The D-pad feels different. I'm not sure if it feels better or worse. It feels a little snappier. It's hard to put it into words. And it might just be that this D-pad's older. But it's not doing any errant diagonals. A couple of them popping up here or there, but not many. Yeah, it feels, like I said, and I think it, the more I think about it, I think it might just be the design of the 8bitdo supplier that they're using. They just feel smoother. Like I can't put it into words, but these have a little more resistance to them. But they just feel very smooth, like smoother than this feels. And I can't describe it. But we're not getting any kind of drift on these at all. But surprised because I always thought these were more sensitive, but I'm doing the same movement on the other controller and it's about the same there. So Pogue Squadron, I agree. That's one thing that I like about, so I've been playing quite a bit with RetroBat, and from a controller configuration perspective and a whole host of other reasons, I found that to be a really good platform to work with. It's been very good. Now the one thing that I should have tested on the Mister, which I did not, was the left-right diagonals, but I could probably demo that here just the same. So let me make a note of that for when I do the final review. I might start with, so we'll do left-right diagonals, stick sensitivity. And then okay, all right. Yeah, I think we got a good game plan here. I also look for left-right diagonals here to make sure you're not picking up an errant up or down. So you can rock back and forth quickly without just doing a diagonal, which this seems to do pretty well. Unless you really intend to go up that way. Yeah, it's a good D-pad. It feels very much like a Super Nintendo D-pad, which I think is what they were going for there. So, yeah, good stuff. All right, I think I got enough to work on there. Do I feel the resistance is more consistent no matter? Yes, I would say that's the case. That might be what I'm feeling. Yeah, it's just a different feel that I like better. It just feels, like I said, it feels smoother. And it's hard to quantify that. Does it pass the Contra test? We should try the Contra test. I hate to get my Mister out again. Maybe I should just load up the emulator and throw Contra on there. Let's do that. So on speaking of RetroBat, on this drive here, I have RetroBat installed. I am not sure I have Contra on it though, but I can check pretty easily. Ugh. So if I go into, so that's one of the great things about RetroBat, you just boot it up and it works. I don't have to reconfigure anything. So let's see if I have Contra in there. don't, but I can easily put it on there. So let me do that real quick. And then we'll call it a day. By the way, Plex Pro Week is coming up, everybody. And I did some videos for Plex Pro Week. All right, emulators. And we'll throw Zelda and Contra in there. So, Mark Dell, tell me about the Contra test. So we should be able to run to the left without what? All right, let's go retro that up here real quick. The Retro Game Cores Contra test. I got to look this up now. Yeah, so Plex Pro Week, by the way, is a collection of videos that Plex puts out. And I have contributed some new content to them. So you'll be able to see that when it comes up. All right, let's go over to... crouch and wiggle. Do you move left or right? Okay, let's try that. So that's... And Mark Dell, that's on the original Contra? All right, let's give it a go, see what happens. So on the new one or the old one? Oh, I see what you're saying. So you want to sit down here and just shoot. So if I deliberately move, he'll move. So crouch and wiggle. Does it move? Yeah, so I'm wiggling and he's not moving. A little bit. If I go up a little bit higher, he will, but if I'm pushed down, he won't. Yeah, he's staying put there. But you know, you saw just a second ago how quickly we got into this game because of Retrobat. Yeah, so I'm pushing down and wiggling and no movement. That's a good test. I think I like that one better than the Zelda test I was doing. So let me record that real quick. Let's get him into position here. Let's do it one more time here. All right, that worked out good. All right, so let me go make a note of that one. All right, good stuff. Passed the test. Excellent. All right, well, everybody, I've got a few more things I got to get done around here, but I accomplished what I set out to do with today's stream. And Dragon Bloggers, thank you for the follow. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of play around with a few things and get some B-roll shot, which we were able to do. And it was great to have all the regular crowd popping in, as Billy Joel once said. All right, I'll give credit to Retro Game Cores, but to you for telling me about Retro Game Cores doing it. How's that? But yeah, I'll be back very soon. I'll be doing some more live streams. I've got a little bit of traveling to do next week, but when I get back, I will. Like I said, I'm going to try to do more of these things. So that is the scoop. All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to go get my afternoon coffee going on and get a few other projects started up, and we'll be back before you know it. So, oh, we've got a question here. Good. This is Matt Case setting the bait for me. I'm curious how people here consume YouTube content. Do they go to their subscriptions on the left? You know, sad to say, I tend to stick with the homepage because I have like a decade's worth of subscriptions, and they don't provide a very easy way of managing them. So, but I've pulled out the channels that I watch the most, and I put them into my RSS reader. I actually have in my list of things to do is a video about how I consume YouTube. So that might be coming up soon too. Yeah, there you go. All right, well, thank you everybody for tuning in, and I appreciate everyone's thoughts and ideas for things to test on the controller. And you can find the controller over on the link you see in the video description if you want to check one out. So this is the 8bitdo Pro 2 with Hall effect sticks. So it's an improvement upon the original. So there you go. But yeah, we're good here. So I will be back again. I might do another live stream this week. If not, not next week, but the following week I'll be back. I'm going to be doing more of this because now the kids are back in school. I've got time. I've got projects that are going to require some input. So yeah, good stuff. All right, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.